Welcome to the first episode of the morning after. A new thing I'm going to try to do this year for our fantasy league. Every Tuesday after the league, I'm kind of going to get on here and have a little chat, maybe make fun of a few people. They had a rough week, myself included. Anyone else is welcome to do it. I'm going to try to set up like a YouTube channel. I don't know how feasible that is right now or how I have to do that, but I will try. This is the first episode. Might be a little rough, sort of like the first episode of Seinfeld. When you look back at it, it might look way different. If I get good at this, maybe I can add some graphics and stuff. Right now, it's going to be very bare bones. First of all, a couple things to talk about. League fees. Everyone's paid except Chet Bites and Dan Tomaszewski. Chet and Bites had the checks in the mail. Hopefully that's not like Bailey. Hopefully I get it before December. Anyway, if the check is not received by the end of the first week, so by Monday next week, it'll be a 5-point penalty. That 5-point penalty won't go to the game because that would affect the game. But it will go for your total year things. And each week it's not there, another 5 points will be added. So 5 points week 1, 10 points week 2, yada, yada, yada. Also, there's a transaction freeze right now until the end of week 1. Since there's no fair way to do it with waivers, nobody's allowed to be signed. You can cut people if you want, but you can't sign anybody until after week 1. If you do, I'll just clear it out. And then after week 1, it'll be set with waivers, so we can do it that way. On to the teams. I got them out here in the rosters written all down. Kind of go through and make a few comments on them, especially for some of the guys who weren't there. You won't be able to get Griff's witty comments on your team, but pretty much it's just going to be that pick was bad, and sorry about your fantasy team. So, Griff, hope you don't mind me stealing that line for you. Anyway, first of all, Bites, good team, really good running backs in terms of depth. In fact, probably one of the 2 best running back depths in our league. Martin and Lacey. Lacey's got a lot of upside. Like Wilson. Amendola's a lot of potential. Could be hurt, though. That's why I shied away from him, but that's a really pretty solid team. Next team in the division is Bernie. Good team again. Probably the fastest team in our league. Spiller, Lamar Miller, Ronnie Hillman, Michael James, Julio, Jordy Nelson, Steve Smith, Jared Cook, Kenny Stills, all burners. Big chance for boom or bust with those. Some weeks they're probably going to have lots of touchdowns, some weeks possibly not. But a really solid team. Horn Dogs, probably one of the better starting units in there. And actually good receiver depth too. And you got the handcuffs for Marshawn completely locked up. Wilson's got a lot of upside now with Andre Brown being down. Receivers might be a little thin in top. Cecil Shorts, it'll be interesting to see with the new coaching staff how he does. And Andre Johnson stayed healthy lately and had a great year last year. Mike Wallace, new place, and then Darren McFadden. If he actually stays healthy, Scott, that's a hell of a team. Then the Fighting Sasquatches, Andrew Luck, a lot of upside. Peterson's a beast. Reggie Bush, if it was PPR, you would have the 2 best running backs in the league, but we'll see how he does in Detroit. If he scores touchdowns, that's going to be a hell of a backfield. D'Angelo, Stewart out, might be real good. Pierre Thomas for the 10th straight year. And then receivers, you can tell this is your team. Demarius and Pierre Garcon, I think, have been on your team for a few times now. And Mike Williams, I really like a lot. But keeping the tradition of what I used to do with Hutzel and then last year with Griff, kind of ranking or picking who I think will win the division. It's close. It's a really close division. All the teams are really solid. But I'd have to pick Bites. I'm going to pick Bites to win the division. He was the champ last year, and I got to give him his due. Next division is my division, and realistically, I'm going to pick myself to win. If I had to pick my team, and looking at the other ones, I'd probably pick mine to win. So don't be too mad. If you think your team's a lot better than mine, you have to expect this. I like Stafford, of course. Gio Bernard's kind of my wild card. If he does well, my team's going to be really good. If he takes over for Ben Jarvis especially. If he gets 6 to 8 touchdowns, he's going to be tough. Receivers might be a little too Bailey-ish in that I went with a lot of upside, but Torrey Smith, even with upsides, had 17 touchdowns the last 2 years. T.Y. Hilton had 6 or 7 last year. Looks like he might take a bigger role. Jimmy Graham, down year, had 9 touchdowns. Chris Gibbons, Emmanuel Sanders, Brandon LaFell, and Sanu, all young guys who've got some upside. And Blackman, who was a beast last year at the end of the year. Hope he doesn't get in trouble in the next 4 weeks. Chet, kind of complained about yourself not knowing what you're doing, but looking at your team, I was impressed. A little thin in some spots, but actually not really. They're a pretty solid team. Drew Brees is awesome. Charles and Ridley, really good. Actually, if you would have told me a week ago, that's kind of who I was hoping to get in the second round of my running backs. But I changed my mind and went with Richardson. So happy to Charles and not him. And Ridley had me thinking for a while to take him or CJ2K, but wanted to go Chris Johnson. Andre Brown, when he comes back, should be good. Roy Haluz had a great preseason. Stephon Taylor's a sleeper. Receivers are good. Colston and Wayne, can they keep up what they've been doing? Gronkowski hopefully plays for you 10 games. When he gets healthy, will he get hurt again? And will they actually report it? That's probably your biggest questions. Tate was a good pick too. Reisner, another really good team. And also probably the best running backs in our league with Beitzinger. Really deep. Rice, Steven Jackson, great. Sproles, really good. He's probably in return of form, I think. Ivory, we'll see with the Jets. Isaac Redmond may have been one of the best picks in the draft, especially late. He's going to be the guy there, at least until Bell's back. Tom Brady, awesome 6th round or 5th round pick. That was really lucky. I wish you wouldn't have taken him. I was really looking forward to that one. Wes Welker, Stevie Johnson, Owen Daniels, probably a weak spot. Tavon Austin, depends how he does. But the running backs are deep, so it should be interesting. And then the Bone Storm, Peyton Manning, Sean McCoy, really good. Ben Jarvis, we'll see. More and more apart, the thing is kind of be phased out, but we probably get the touchdown, so that'll even out. The rest of running backs are thin. Receivers, though, really good. AJ Green, Roddy White, Hakeem Nicks, scared me away. Love the guy, but the last couple years, last year he was, second half of the year he wasn't healthy, and this year in the preseason he looks the same. He looks slow and not getting that burst. But if he's back to the way he was, that's arguably one of the best receiving cores in our league, behind the guy coming up. But also Tony did win the award for the best quarterback duo with Manning and RG3, two arguably top 10, and if RG3's back to health, possibly top 5 quarterback. So if you're looking for a quarterback, that's the guy you're going to call. And Tony, you do have an ungodly amount of tight ends, 5 of them in a row there. I'm impressed. And then, of course, who wins that division? You know, I'm going to pick myself. But it's a tough division. Again, like the first division, they're all pretty tough. All the teams look really good. And no real weak spots. Final division, the day-end division. First of all, grab the new guy, the old guy, or the new guy now, Dan Stonke's. Romo and Eli, good quarterback duo. Mojo and Forte. Mojo's back to health, that'll be tough. Richardson, if he can get a few touchdowns, that'd be big. Wide receivers, Cobb, Bob, Dwayne Brown, or Antonio Brown, Lance Moore, pretty solid. All really solid guys. Should be a really solid receiving core. Cordell Patterson's got upside, and Edelman's got handcuff potential behind Amendola. So that's a good team. Welcome back, Danny. Looks like you've got a good team again. Griff's Gargoyles, horrible team. Horrible team. Realistically, pretty good. Kaepernick, nice. Arian Foster, if he's healthy, he's second best running back in football. Question is, he's not going to be, they said, at full strength week 1. He's going to get partial carries, and that injury started, actually, that has not gone away in May. And it's kept going on and on. That's what scared the rest of us away, but if he comes through, it'll be big. DeMarco Murray, you know what you're getting. Frustration. Same with Ryan Matthews. A lot of frustration there. The rest of the running backs are pretty good. Receivers, Dez, possibly. Maybe this year becomes best receiver in fantasy football. James Jones. Which way is it going to go this year in Green Bay? Is he going to be Jordy Nelson? You know, like last year where he struggled, or is he going to be the guy who got all the touchdowns? Greg Jennings, will he actually get the ball thrown to him in the catchable area? Josh Gordon was a very sneaky good pick. 2 weeks out. And Whedon's better. He was, pretty good pick. Next up, just in case Kongs, Rodgers, probably the best quarterback in fantasy football. Here, Breeze. Alfred Morris, Frank Gore. Morris is a beast. Going to get you a lot of touchdowns. Frank Gore was really good last year. As this year age catches up, we'll see. The rest of running backs could be a question mark. Kendall Hunter, good. You got your handcuff. And Le'Veon Bell, if he comes back and he's anywhere near healthy, he's going to be the guy in Pittsburgh. As you can hear, a sideline reporter in the background is not happy. She's been phased out for this episode, but she'll be back next week. Vincent Jackson, Eric Decker, good receivers. A little question about number 3, but Rudolph, Vernon Davis, and Tony Gonzalez, one of them should be able to step up for you. Even Fred Davis, which is a good pick. Finally, we got Team LBM, who win the award for the best receiving core in our league, as you'll hear in a little bit. Mike Vick, Flacco. Vick, a lot of upside. Will he stay healthy for 16? Probably not, but you'd have a good backup. Monty Ball, Ahmad Bradshaw, Sean Green, Mark Ingram. You're going to have some questions there. Monty Ball could be the man. He could be the third man. We'll see Bradshaw, kind of the same thing. But he was really good last year, and the Colts, somebody's going to have to get the ball. Sean Green hopefully doesn't get many carries. With Chris Johnson, I hope not. Mark Ingram, maybe this is where he breaks out. We'll see. I've liked him before. And then the receivers. Calvin Johnson, Brandon Marshall, Victor Cruz, awesome. Alshon Jeffrey, a good sleeper. Michael Crabtree, a really good late round pick. He'll be back probably in November, so that could be good if he's anywhere near healthy. So yeah, that's that. And then what we would like to do here is work with the walk of shame each week. That's the guy who had, maybe somebody get hurt during the week, just missed something, they didn't start somebody. This week there's only one guy who really could get it, and it's not that big one. Not that big of a walk of shame, but Dan's Donkeys, you are the only guy who drafted him who got cut yesterday. Jonathan Dwyer was released. So, yeah, you get the walk of shame this week, Dan. And then, by the way, that division, I'm going to go out on a limb, though, and pick the man who had the walk of shame to win the division in Dan's Donkeys. Super Bowl pick, I'm going to have to pick a repeat of last year, myself against Bites. This year, Bites, you're going down. Kaepernick is not getting a last-minute touchdown. I have him this year, but maybe you trade. Anyway, that's the week. The sideline reporter will make a quick appearance here. She's going to have insightful comments throughout the year on things. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to win this year? The Cardinals. You're right. That's right. Chris's Cardinals will win. That's good. Well, say goodbye, Emma, and see you guys in week 2 or after week 1. Best of luck to all, and I will be chatting with you guys in the near future. Thanks for watching week 1 of The Morning After. Post-draft edition. Bye.